Hello, so I recently did the 21 questions tag, and in that video one of the questions was mentioning something about the spirit guides, and I'm pretty sure that I mentioned about Mr. Happy, and I wanted to take the time and talk about him more. I have been wanting to talk more about my spirit guides, and the deities that I work with and the beings that I work with as well, more in my videos, but I find it a little bit of a challenge to do so. Not because I've only recently started working with them or because I don't know much about them. It's because I've kept it private for so long. Only my partner knows a little bit about the deities that I work with. He knows more about the guides than he does with the deities. He does try to pay his respects to the deities, but he doesn't know the personal relationship that me and the gods go through. And I don't know why, but I've always found it difficult to try and open up about that. I guess it's because I've kept it very private for all these years, and I've always preferred it that way because it gives me a chance to connect with the god or the goddess and build a relationship up with them before I talk to anyone else about them. I prefer doing it that way. It helps me to understand and to learn more about them and find my own way with them. People talking about correspondences and things that are associated with a certain type of god or goddess. They are all good lists, but for me, I personally like to try and step away from that list and try to connect with that god on my own and actually figure out my own things that are associated with them, if that makes sense. Not that the list the original person has done is wrong. It's just I like to try and make that relationship a bit more personal for me. So when it does come to trying to talk about the god or the goddess or a spirit guide, it can be challenging, and I can seem very uncomfortable and awkward, and I just want to put that across here now in case it comes across that. I don't really mean to, it's just the way I am. I haven't really, spoken to many people about this, and with Mr. Happy, he is a spirit guide that I haven't found in any other spirit guide before, and when I do try to mention him to other people and try to explain more about him, they sort of back away and think I'm a little bit crazy, or wondering why the heck do I allow this spirit beside me if he is causing this much damage. I call him Mr. Happy as it's just a little joke that we have. He has been my spirit guide for probably about 4 or 5 years. Well, officially my spirit guide, because that is when I acknowledged that he was part of my little gang, I guess. But he has been hovering around me for quite some time before then. The thing is, when he is around, you will know it, because bad things will happen. Some negative thoughts will come into your head, not really negative, but just a little negative thoughts come in your head. You get this negative feeling, just something negative will happen, and that is most likely him in the room. He doesn't mean for this to happen, but over the years his vessel has become the attraction for negativity. He is a magnet for all those energies, and no matter what he does, they will always stick to him. And so wherever he travels, he will cause bad situations. And at first I didn't like this idea of him being around me, and already being in a bad situation myself, I didn't want to have another being bringing more bad things to me. But I realised that there is a reason behind him being here, and in a way he's here because he needs help as well. He is wanting to be rid of this, but he doesn't know how. He's trying to smash that vessel apart and get himself cleaned up, but he can't do that. And I have a feeling that it's something that we need to do together, maybe for our healing journey. That is something that we need to do, but that is going to be something far off in the distance, something that I can't do at this moment. But for now, he has always been here. If I feel another negative spirit being around in the room, I will call upon him. I will get him to come in and help me, and he will most likely just kick this other spirit out of the room because he doesn't want anything bad happening to me. So he, in a way, is sort of like my bodyguard for negative spirits, if that makes sense. Even though guides are supposed to help you with that, for me, I feel he is there for the worst situation, if that makes sense. When my guides originally may not have the strength at that time to do it, I will call upon him and he will deal with the situation. He has never caused me any harm in any way. He's never caused me to hurt myself. He's never done anything like that. I just sort of wanted to put that in here in case people thought that. But he's never done that. He's always had my best interest at heart. He's always tried to help me as much as possible. I've also pretty sure that I had a past life regression and that he was in that life with me, and so I feel a stronger connection with him because of that, and it makes me want to help him a lot more. When it comes to him and my other guides, there is a bit of a rift. My other guides do not want him around at all. They have tried all this time to keep me away from him, but I just can't stop that. I can't just ignore him because he's got some bad energy or negative energy around him. I'm drawn to helping him as much as I can, so that's what I'm going to be doing. So when he is around, my other guides try to stay far away as possible, but in reach in case anything happens, if that makes sense. So yeah, they are never in the room, and if they are, it just gives me a big headache. I can't stand it. It's just better if they stay away. They just don't get on at all. And through the meditations that I've had before, when it came to connecting with my other guides, he would often appear, and in that meditation it was nasty as well. It was a big rift, and I would often leave the meditation feeling worse than I did when I started the meditation. So it's best that those two stay away from each other. With him and my other type of guides, like my animal guides and my plant guides, so far there hasn't been any situation with them. They seem to keep neutral with him, and he is the same with them. Often if they are around, he isn't. I think he is understanding now that there is a certain place that he has in my life, and if it's not a situation that he is needed, he doesn't really hang around that much. Sometimes he will take a peek in, but often he won't last long if he's not needed. And I seem to be running out of things that I can say about him. I'm hoping this is making sense, because like I've said, when I've tried to explain this to other people, they tend to back away and wonder why I'm keeping him about, just like my other guides are. But like I've said, I just feel this pull towards him, that I really need to help him and him to be near me at this part of my life. I don't know if that will last forever. It could be that I could help, or we could help each other with our situations, and then he can move on to whatever stage he needs to go on. But at the moment I do need him here. And apart from the negative aspects about him, he is pretty charming and he has a good sense of humour. He doesn't mind me poking fun at the negative aspects. He doesn't mind me calling him Mr. Happy. It's just like a little joke because of the situation and all that. He is very kind and he can be very, very gentle, but at the same time he can be very, very strong, and he can stand his place. He can stand his ground when it needs to be, and he can also drive you up the flipping wall when he wants to. He can get on your nerves so much, and that's what I found he can tend to do. If there is another negative spirit, he will drive that other spirit crazy. He does it with me at times, because I'm not doing something that he wants me to do or that I should be doing. So he will do it until I am doing as I'm told, I guess. And it can get on your nerves. But that's just the sort of spirit that he is. That's the personality that I've picked up on him. I've never really had those bad situations, and I feel like I'm just going to be going over the same things over and over again. I can't really think of anything other that I should be saying about him. I'm just hoping that this is making some sort of sense and you can understand a little bit more about one of my guides. But yeah, I guess I should finish it here. Yeah. Bye.